Oh, hello, Yvette.
Hello, Jeremy. How's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for quite some time. Can you please tell our Oh, hello listeners who you are?
That's a funny question. Who am I? No, really, everyone. Yvette Davis, so glad to be here. Originally from Dallas, Texas. And as you mentioned, we've known each other forever. I left Dallas after undergrad, moved to Chicago, and that's really kind of where my marketing career started. Where really, for me, I like to say that first, I'm an empathetic person, and I think that plays a lot into my ability to be a great marketer. Like, I'm always thinking about how communication will be received from customers, what their experience will be, which translates into my experience not only in brand marketing, but also digital marketing. And today, as a director of digital marketing for Dave & Buster's and Main Event, overseeing web and really thinking through the entire UX, not only just from the paid media aspect, but like when they come to our site, like how should that experience go? Like where are the friction points? How do I make it seamless and have return visits?
And what's amazingly wonderful about your experiences, Yvette, the fact that going from Chicago to Atlanta to Arkansas, back to Texas, where your home was and is, you have worked at some fantastic companies. You have 2 master's degrees. You from from Omnicom to Publicis to your time at Home Depot to your time at Sam's Club to now being at Dave & Buster's. You have worked on amazing brands. Your time at Intel and Kellogg's.
Yeah.
The empathetic marketer hat is something that most people should not take lightly, because you really you plant yourself in those markets, in those corporate headquarters, learn the lingo. And so that says a lot when you say the empathetic marketer. I just wanted to call that out.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's almost so natural that anytime I'm working on anything marketing, I literally take my marketer hat off. Because I think it's easy for us to get so close to like, oh, this is like marketing. This is what we should be chasing after. But at the end of the day, like if your consumer can really connect with you, then it's whatever you do in marketing, like it's going to work. And so to me, I'm really chasing that consumer connection for them to get that feeling like this brand knows me, this brand understands me, and this brand is here for me. So that's how like I think about the strategies that I work on, or even, the executions that we put out for the different brands.
It's that level of trust.
Yes.
What defines you? What defines you as an executive? What defines you as just a good person?
I think once again, it's still like that empathy that I have, and just knowing that, how important it is to approach everything with such, understanding, and like with you mentioned trust earlier, and building that foundational trust with the different people that I work with, whether it's my direct reports or my cross-functional partners. And so I've always been, big on relationships and fostering them. And so you see that in my personal life, and you definitely see that come across in my professional life, because I feel like that, that relationship, that trust, that knowing that you're dependable, it definitely goes a long way in, these corporate environments.
Relationships matter.
They matter.
They do. They do. How would you characterize the skill set that you're going to be sharing with the OhHello community, just in terms of your background?
Yeah, I think the skill set, there are a couple of things. The first thing I would say is, really understanding that all careers aren't linear. So, we were talking earlier about how I, have 2 master's degrees, and my first true marketing job was right after grad school, where I literally took an entry level role at the agency to foundationally understand, the inner workings of media, understanding how to traffic display ads, really getting into the weeds and reporting before I was able to like grow. So we're talking about 2009 to 2014, my first client opportunity. We're now managing the agency and helping the client really save, thousands of dollars because of learnings I garnered as an entry level person with 2 master degrees. So for me, what I want to just help people understand is like, it's not where you are today. It's taking those learnings and figuring out like how that helps propel you for your next opportunity. At church Sunday, my pastor made a comment that it rings so true. It's, blossom where you're planted at. And I feel so often we're like chasing the next thing that we don't take time to like really realize why we're at the place that we're at right now. What are we supposed to be learning in this season at this place, that we're at within our careers? Because there's a reason we're here. There's preparation that's taking place in our life that's really going to help us as we move forward in our careers. And just personally, you can take that same lesson.
You want to keep yourself in bloom, so to speak. Hence
Keep yourself in bloom. We
yeah.
should always be learning. I feel like I'm constantly learning.
I love that. I love that. What kind of advice would you give yourself looking back?
The advice, I tell myself this even to this day because it's a constant reminder.
Like today, did you tell yourself this?
I tell myself this today is like, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Once again, I feel like I am really grounded in like, there's a reason I'm on this path. And I just have to, take hold of what that reason is and really just lean into it. So I would say earlier in my career, once again, coming from 2 master degrees and starting entry level, looking at people my same age and where they were in their careers, I did a lot of comparing. And I feel like, it was something that was discouraging personally. But there were people in my life who helped me understand, like, don't compare yourself to other people, but really focus on where you're at. And I've just continued to take that advice. But I wish like I didn't have to wait to 25 to learn it. But it's something that I continue to just remind myself of today and tell other people.
I love that you just said that. I think it really resonates. I think our listeners, our viewers, those that are fans of OhHello, the content that we're building and the platform, you're the only person to mention that. So that really resonates, just the importance of not comparing yourself to everybody else. Like, life itself, if you look at it as a consistent rat race, you're going to get injured, you're going to get sick. You got to focus on how you can be better, how you can develop. And it's really hard in fast-paced environments of what we do in our ecosystem.
That's so true. And what's crazy is like one of the main tools I feel like all of us use as professionals is almost like a comparison tool right in our face, and that's LinkedIn. Now, don't get me wrong. I love LinkedIn. I think there's a lot of power in it, but it's just like, make sure you're going into that mindset when you're on that platform, not to be comparing yourself to someone else, but, leverage it to help you get to where you want to be.
Use it as a tool.
As a tool.
As a tool. Don't use it as a crutch or as a shiny object, because everyone's only going to put up their best accomplishments, their coolest stuff. Hence, part of the reason, I mean, I use LinkedIn to broadcast a lot of the LinkedIn live streams that we do for the content. The podcasts, there are thousands of viewers on every single, just thousands, tens of thousands of minutes for every different interview that we do on LinkedIn. But what I realized when I put that is we're all putting on our best selves when it comes to LinkedIn. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, and I think me and you talked about earlier, like what I have found valuable, like speaking on LinkedIn, is when people do talk about their failures. There are a couple of people I remember, they talked about like, oh, I left this company and went to this company, and I was only at this company B for 3 months. And you're like, wait, 3 months? But they like talk about why that was and why it was important for them. And once again, there's learnings in that.
Authenticity. Yeah. Being authentic and explaining why. Yeah. You're so right. What excites you about mentorship? What excites you about the OhHello platform?
For me, mentorship and how it's played a part in my life is that it's, you get the strong foundation, or I receive my strong foundation from my parents and family. Yeah. And then the mentors, which I would almost call them like the influencers in my life, have each laid different bricks. And so we're building this house together. And I haven't had one mentor from like the beginning of my career to today. So there's so many people who just placed these bricks to help build this house with me. And for me, like, I want to be that person. Like, I want to make sure that, like, I'm not, building a mansion for myself while someone over here is like, with sticks. Like, I want to help build the bricks and help someone else as they develop and grow. So I do, I spent some time today mentoring. At Sam's Club, I was able to help with like the internship program and being a mentor there. So it is something that's very important to me in my career.
I love the analogy of the brick builders. Who are some of who have been the tuck pointers, so to speak, or the bricklayers in your ecosystem that have played a big role professionally, that have helped you become who you are today?
Oh, wow. There are so many. There are so many. So if I don't say your name, you're not to say you're not one.
If you're not saying your name, you can email me them and I'll drop it in the notes as well.
The few that come to mind, Tracy Brown, who's now at Walgreens, she, hired me at Sam's Club, really helped me understand like the full potential that I could have as a marketer, not just focusing on media, but like really sharpening my strategic mindset and helping me extend from just being a media person, but also, a brand marketer. Tony Rogers used to be the CMO at Walmart, CMO at Sam's Club. He really was very influential in my career and, brought me in on some assignments and really helped me understand what having a seat at the table meant.
Amazing.
And even to this day is someone that I can call on and just gives me that advice, that push professionally and personally in life.
Amazing.
You probably saw on my LinkedIn that I got a chance to be a part of the Adweek Executive Mentorship Program. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention my mentor, Carter's CMO, Jeff Jenkins. Like, the time I spent with Jeff was just, words just don't explain it.
Amazing.
Jeff gave me so many Jeff-isms, as I end up naming them at the end of our program together. We still stay in contact, but he gave me so many nuggets that I feel like really are helping propel me into this next season of my career. And so those are just a few people. And then one more person, last but certainly not least, Crystal McPherson, which I know has been on your podcast. But literally from 2009 to today, Crystal has been a part of my professional and personal journey, and really is one of those people that is constantly laying bricks for me. And so
she's a wonderful role model and mom. And
wonderful.
And
yes.
Yeah, she's a great person. Yeah. Well, Yvette, any other parting words of wisdom that you have for our audience?
Yeah, just stay focused, stay encouraged. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have said this, but you'll get 100 no's before you get that yes. And I've gotten 100 no's before I've gotten my yeses, but really just staying connected, being engaged in things like the OhHello podcast, and really, stepping out of your comfort zone and tapping into different mentorships and networks is beneficial.
You rock, Yvette. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for listening. I appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much for being part of our program. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.